How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
Good.
Good. Check, check. Everybody got me?
Yep.
All right. Hey, Mark, you mind muting your microphone, please? Thank you. All right, guys. Tonight's going to be really brief and simple. We're just going to have a quick Q&A session. If there's anything in specific regarding the network side of the radio or the analog side of the radio, fire away. It's going to be a rapid fire kind of drill.
May
You may.
I? This is David. I'm Missouri. So I think you guys have gone over this once. I probably just haven't gone back and reviewed the previous training on this. So it seems like I can only get the SK2 button to work whenever I'm trying to do a private quick call to another member of the All States.
Mm-hmm.
So are any of the other buttons supposed to work? And what are would you mind doing a quick review of the exact steps to set up any of those keys for
Yeah,
a private?
give me just a second.
Whatever is in the world. But their meals are more like survival rations than real dinners. Sometimes they even resort to camel drop, floating in the water.
All right, Dave. So the quick keys is what you're referring to.
Yeah, I mean, now I have done this, but it seems like I struggle with it sometimes. And I recently just discovered too that it only stays on for like 20, 30 seconds. And if you don't engage a private call before then you have to go back in and rekey it. But it seems like I can only get the SK2 key to work. And then I was also wondering if you'd just go over the sequence of how to set it up. I'm thinking I might be making this more complex
Right.
than it needs to be.
Oh, okay. So the SK2, which is the bottom key on the side of the radio,
Yes.
that's when you press it a single time, it's going to ask you a quick call and it should say enter. What that's asking you is to input or press the button for the saved quick call key that you're trying to dial. So let's just, for argumentative sake, say that you want to use your SK2 that is set for quick call. If you depress it twice, you should have either a group channel or a singular user pop up on your screen.
Yes, so it has APC 153 on top and APC 153 on bottom once I hit that. So that key is locked in then. I'm thinking I think you're just telling me something that I didn't realize before. I tend to program this every single time. So if that key was also programmed to say for a specific member to quick call, or do you
Right.
have to do you have to go through that step each time to make sure it knows which member you're trying to call?
No, so whenever you go under your settings for a member, so let's just go into the menu. So we're going to go to. Are you trying to set a quick call for an individual ID or a group?
For just for one member right now. So I guess it would just be a private call. Yeah, not a group of
Okay.
people.
All right. All right. So if you hit the key that's under menu, the little dash line, that'll populate every member that's in the current group you're selected in. So if you're in All States Talk Around and you select that button, you'll have every member that's pop up that's part of All States Talk Around group. If you know the
Yes.
radio that you want, okay, select a radio, whatever member that is. And when you select them, it'll say either mark or quick call.
Correct.
Okay, when you select quick call, you have SK1, 2, menu, up, down, exit, and P1. P1 is the
This is-
button we press that's right beneath. That's
What
how
was it
you
again?
program a member or somebody needs to
What was
mute.
the
There's
P1 again? I'm sorry,
back.
Robert, to interrupt you. You were
Uh,
breaking up and I did
P1
not
is
quite
the
catch you.
button
I'm
that's,
sorry.
yeah, so P1 is the button underneath the menu button.
Oh, okay, okay. It's the left dash looking button. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Right.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. So whenever you select a user, let's just say you select a user, you add quick call, and you select one of those options. That's what you're assigning that user to for a quick call. So then to call them up and make a call to them, you're going to hit the SK2 button on the side, which is the bottommost button. And then you're going to select the button you just programmed for them.
So now,
Now
let
you
me go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I apologize.
no. So whenever you call a member, if it's a single member, your radio number is going to appear both times. But no, whoever you just assigned to that quick call button is who you're calling. So when you select that quick call and it'll engage that to activate it, you can key up and talk to them. If there's a 30 or 60-second timeout. If there's no communication or 30 to 60 seconds, it's going to default back to the group that you were currently in.
Okay, so one thing I'm not clear on, because this is the first time I've heard this, that when you were mentioning the P1 key, what exact step does that come in on the sequence of keys you're hitting when you set this up?
P1 is basically a shortcut key to get to all the members of the current group you're in.
Okay, is that the only time that key comes into play then? Because I noticed that whenever I go down,
No,
for
but
instance, if I,
no,
go ahead.
no, it's not. It's that can also be programmed as a quick key.
Okay, that's where I think I'm also a little confused on these quick keys for calls, because I seem to only be able to use the SK2 for a quick call purposes. And
No,
I'm not
let me explain how that works. What's your radio number? I'm
okay,
going to set you up really quick.
153.
153. Okay, give me just a second.
The thing from the journey is stored in the mala mala, large leather sacks cut from the stomach of a cow.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not claiming that I haven't been able to make a quick call. I've done it, but I still think I'm probably missing
Okay.
out on some steps.
Okay. So there's two steps to make a quick call. First, you have to enter quick call mode, which is hitting SK2. You'll see on your screen it says quick call enter. That means press the button of the quick call assignment you want to enter. So I just assigned you to my P1 button, so I'm going to enter that. Well, I didn't save it. Just a second.
Oh, I just saw you pop up on my screen there.
There must exist somewhere.
Yeah, give me a second. I had a
Remains of the forests which once covered the Sahara. I talk it over with my guides.
153.
One of them knows a mountain with a paradise-like oasis at the summit. I give the order to leave.
LLKTA.
Somebody's got some loud music in the background.
I apologize. I'm in my living room. I have a small home and my wife's watching the television. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'll mute unless you're talking. Sorry.
Radio check 1, 2.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, so I just set my radio to communicate on quick call SK1 to your actual radio ID. So the way that you enter into that function is you hit SK2 and it's going to pop up on your screen that says enter. Then you select the programmed button, which can be SK2, SK1, menu up, down, exit, or P1. And that will put you into, whenever you select it, you'll see your radio go from a group to when your radio ID pops up onto the onto your screen underneath the underneath your radio ID. You're going to be able to communicate to that person
So
directly.
So SK2 is always going to be the first button to hit, and then you hit whatever other program, whether it be SK1, P1, up, down, or any of the other keys to
Correct.
program in a specific member or a group that you want to communicate with then, correct?
That's to call it. To program it, you've got to go into the members and select which group or member you're quick calling, and you're programming that member to that button. The SK2 is the menu button that you select that you're fixing to make a quick call to. So you hit SK2, that's going to pop up quick call enter, then you select the programmed hotkey to go into that call.
Okay, and each hotkey has a member that you associate with it. Okay, okay. I think I can
It
get
can
this.
be a member or
Go ahead,
it can
I'm
be a
sorry.
member or group.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten into any groups yet. The other quick question I had, and this is a really quick one. When I'm looking through my radio menu, a lot of people actually have a name designation instead of APC number. And I don't know how they got that programmed, or is that something they had to request to have programmed before you guys ship the radios out, or how does that work?
That's eventually everybody's going to have an alphanumeric code assigned to the radio. If these being private radios, since you pre-ordered them, if you're in any capacity in your assembly that has radios issued, then you will have a radio that's issued a call sign specific to that handheld that'll be tagged to your person. And then we're going to be reallocating these existing APC numbers for the individuals that have them privately right now, and creating groups for those independently from specific assemblies and whatnot. But that's a few months out probably. We're working on getting all that developed and programmed for all that. But right now, those were pre-programmed. Most of the radios will have APC in the state that they're on. Some of them have like PKTF executive director, or I think APC deputy executive director. We're not going to put titles attached to anybody's radio, just because you don't want that.
So for instance, APC
23 on
Illinois.
for video check.
So for instance, APC Illinois is going to be something because there was a group that designated that radio in that group when it got shipped out then, correct? And that's why their radio will show up with APC Illinois or APC Illinois 1 or whatever, or APC, Illinois PKTF or whatever. Is that correct?
Right. Every assembly is going to have its own call signs for their specific purposes. Same with PKTF, the Federation, Continental Marshals. So, for example, Illinois, I believe. Let me pull up my.
One quick question while you're pulling that up. So if I ordered my radio just as an individual, then that's why mine came in that way with just a number, rather than if the assembly or someone designated within the assembly would have ordered it for that special designated group. No, okay. I'm misunderstanding you then. Sorry.
No. Once we have all the state assembly company profiles built and we migrate everybody to their own state profile, the radio call signs will will fall in line to the state's call sign list.
Gotcha.
So that your radio that you have now is that you purchased privately is your radio. And in the interim, your radio is going to be used until the assemblies purchase radios to issue to their members, whether it's the militia, General Assembly, Business Association, or I think that's the three main ones that may issue radios. From the assembly pillars, but and then at that point, your radio, if they so choose to leave it engaged, and they want to assign it a different call sign, they can do that, or they'll reassign it to you privately, and we'll move it off into the private citizen groups and platform for that purpose.
Understood. All right. Thank you for explaining that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm going to pull up just so you kind of have a reference of what the computer's taking its sweet time.
Let's see who's on. Oh, it's Andy. I mean, Andy.
All right, let me know if you can see that.
I can. It's a little small, but I can't. I can see it. Thank you. That's better.
All right, so these particular groups here are going to be, this is what we're developing for what we're calling continuity of comms from the Federation down to every county. Each one of these groups will be pre-programmed in every radio across the nation, no matter what. So you'll have an all states talk around PKTF, CMS, APC, OIIC, ESU, SODG, FOSEPs, CROM, and PI. And then within your own state assembly, we'll just use Michigan, for example, since I have Michigan somewhat worked
So a
out.
dispatcher would automatically have the legend for all those call signs.
Correct.
Obviously, for sure. Yeah.
Yes, so they're going to have a ledger for. We're working with the manufacturer of the dispatch software about being able to program who it is, so that we can do authentication much easier. But so the call signs will be a 4-letter abbreviation for the state and a number, and that's going to be in any random order. These don't have to be in alphanumeric order for the way the labels are. That's just how they are for simplicity's sake. But you got General Assembly, our General Committee, Business Committee, and then down to the counties. The counties will have their county designation where these little 4 asterisks are. So, excuse me. That's going to be how the call signs will be going out. So if anybody picks up a radio in Michigan, they won't know who they are by default. You'll know by learning. Currently, you know how whose radio is currently, so it's kind of like existing de facto. You know, officer by their badge number. When they come over with radio, they're not telling you their name; they're telling you their call sign, which is their badge number. So, in this scenario, your radio is the call sign that's tied to your name. So, and then we're developing authentication methods that if a bad actor gets hold of your equipment, we know how to challenge and responses and whatnot. But that'll be another class that's going to be down the road when the militias are operating and the y'all's assemblies are managing to a degree some of this infrastructure.
Got a plan. You're just waiting for the implementation phase. I like it. Yeah, this is interesting. Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
So,
it looks to be, but
yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, yeah, it definitely looks to be, but I know you guys got a plan. I know we're moving forward and when it's happening and it's happening. Appreciate your efforts.
Absolutely. Yeah, so for those, just to recap on the quick call, the SK2 is how you enter the quick call mode, and then once that enter screen's on there, you select the saved. You enter the quick call button that has the saved contact you're trying to call. So that could be SK1, 2, menu, up, down, exit, or P1. And it's easier to watch it function whenever you do. I'm sorry, if you do groups to manipulate the radio, because whenever you go enter a call sign, it will or a member that's quick called, you'll see it actually change with groups. Whereas quick call to an actual individual user, it's going to pop up your radio ID versus a group.
Thank you, Robert. This is Maziel, in Florida. Are you sharing a screen right now? Because I don't see it being shared at the moment. I know you had something up.
Yeah, no, I stopped sharing. I could reshare that document if need be.
And thank you again. I second what the gentleman said before. Us in the militia in Florida we have a communications committee open and ready to learn and start implementing these things. Thank you. I yield.
Thanks. Well, that's good news. For those that have a hard time seeing, I tried to blow this up a little bit. So in Michigan's going to have MICH and then four numerals that are assigned to each handheld, which is going to be the call sign for that individual. Now, if it's not an individual handheld radio, and it's a mobile unit, then there would be assigned that would be a piece of equipment instead of a person. All right. Any other questions?
If nobody else has got one, I
Take
got a
T8.
quick question about the analog side really quick. Hopefully this isn't something that takes too much time to go over, and I know you had it in a previous class, but the when you've got the split view between push to talk and analog down there, that the channel has Chinese characters before the numeral. I'm sure it's
Mhm.
simple, but would you mind going over that if you have time, with changing that to English or getting rid of that Oriental language?
Yeah, so select the channel you want. So whether that's channel 1, 2, 3. So if you look on the bottom of the analog, you have CH dash, and then beneath it, you have the actual channel number. I know it has Oriental language and numerals there. That's where you would put the nomenclature of that channel, meaning whose repeater that is or what tower you're actually connecting to. Or it could be specifically a talk around channel as well that's named similar to the way the network side of the radio is. So that's where you would put the alphanumeric of channel 1 is let's just argumentatively say that's going to be Louisiana state talk around. To change that, select the channel number that you want to change because you have to be on the channel you're trying to manipulate. Then you go to the menu, channel settings, and then it's going to be channel name.
Fair enough. I knew it was elementary. I was appreciate you telling me anyway. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you select the pound sign to change between capital letters, lowercase letters, and numbers under the channel name when you're messing with it.
Yes.
All right. Anyone else have any questions around either side of the radio? This is a short and sweet one. I've got about another 2 to 3 minutes before I've got a hard stop.
Robert, I had logged in about 15 minutes late. Will I be able to get a replay on this?
Yes, we are recording it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll go ahead and put this out there as a preface because some people are probably going to ask the question when we start doing it. So everybody that's purchased a radio currently, unless it was purchased by their current assembly, it's your private radio. So once we go live on the state company profiles, all the radios that are currently out there will get migrated to the state company profiles. If you want yours to stay private, we're going to create a American State Nationals company profile that will have talk around channels for that purpose. But until the state's assemblies start issuing radios, I would suggest just leaving it in the current setup that we're going to do, which is migrate you. Your APC number is going to change to whatever your state call sign is. And then once you get issued a radio, you can take that back into the private. We can migrate it then. But there will be a American State National company platform built specifically for private users. And then if you have a group of individuals in your state or county or whatnot that you want to create a group for, we can absolutely do that so that you're not having to singularly call one individual if you're trying to talk to multiple people at one time, or mark them to bring them into a private group. All right.
Thanks, Robert.
Absolutely. I'll give you guys one more minute to ask a question, and then we're gonna roll over to our next project. Oh, I see some people in the chat. I apologize. Mark?
Yes, sir. One quickie question. How long has this project been going on?
I'm sorry.
How long have you been working on this project?
Me personally, I started back in August.
But the total project, all people.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I'll turn my microphone over. How about all the people who are working on it? How far back does this go?
Oh, I would be telling you a fib if I knew how far back. I know the principal of the project's been working on it for quite a while. I know that Andy's been working on it for over a year. It's a lot of work because it's not just a platform; it's manufacturing and from manufacturing to distribution to the platform. So it's a big project.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you all for attending.
Excuse me, Robert, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just was
Mhm.
trying to get some information before I asked it to you. So when we ordered our radios, it was about a year ago. Would that be under the private?
Yeah, currently any pre-order radio right now is going to be private because you purchase it with your own funds. The main premise of the goal and objective of APC is to provide continuity of comms for the Federation down to the county sheriffs and emergency service organizations. That's not to say we're not going to have still have a private channel for private citizens to be able to talk around on, but this is APC is catered to servicing and maintaining a continuity of comms for the Federation, PKTF, Continental Marshals, and the county sheriffs and the state militias, all peacekeepers, right? So it's that's why it's called American Peacekeeping Communications. That's not going to say that. Yeah, that's not going to say that you're not going to have access and still be able to use your radio the way it's being used now. There's a way that it's getting geared towards once the systems get fully standing and all the states are standing and the militias are operational. And again, that's if they choose to use our system. We have to get the blessing of the militias or state assemblies to use this platform. So
Right. Well, the Florida militia is using these radios. So that was
Mhm.
my question, because then do we have to then, you're saying, integrate it once it turns on?
well, it's
Once the state is
so
on?
at the high level, there's each state's going to have its own what's called a company platform. Within that company platform, the dispatch at the company level or the state level is going to be administrating and monitoring dispatch and doing dispatch for the militia and or the sheriffs, because we're providing a service to the Federation and the Continental Marshals and PKTF to provide continuity comms from the Federation level all the way to the county level. So whether or not the militias or the state militias or the general assemblies decide to use the platform, we're still establishing the platform to give the continuity of communications from top down to the counties. With that said, we will also work with the existing, and this is what the PKTF liaisons are working on in a progressive stage, is to work with the de facto, because these radios have the ability to bridge into existing analog systems. So it'll allow us to communicate in a crisis or emergency situation. If communications go down and the de facto can't communicate, we'll have mobile communications infrastructure that we can deploy to get communications restored and tied into their systems and be able to communicate. So there's a lot of things going on in the back end that's more than just picking up a radio and keying it up and talking. Excuse me.
Right,
But
because this is servicing the emergency response system and forces for everyone. So I see that. Thank you, Robert. I yield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as we get closer to migrating users out of the current, because most everybody's in a default all states talk around group. Once you're migrated to your own company platform, your default group will be whatever state you're on. And then if you don't, some users may not want to listen to state chatter and they only want to listen to what's going on in their county. So those can be reassigned at that time. But right now, everybody's in the all states talk around. And then once that document I was showing you with the call signs, there's going to be a standard set of groups in every radios across the country that will be able to have communications across boundaries for if we have to, if let's just say Florida and Georgia have to have mutual aid for Alabama, y'all will be able to communicate through the dispatch for that area.
Friends, and also
And Robert, one other quick question, if Maziel's done. So the dispatching is obviously only going to be for the assembly company platforms for the peacekeepers and the peace builders. Obviously, the ASNs that choose not to integrate their radios over into the assembly company profiles obviously don't have a need for any dispatching services because it's not for emergency response or state border defense or anything like that, correct?
No, correct. But you will still, as an ASN, you will still have the groups for lack of better terms, the emergency broadcast system. So if that's part of the continuity of comms, if somebody needs to key up a radio and broadcast to all users because there's an imminent threat or disaster that just happened to let people know what's going on, that functionality will still work on the private side. It's just not, you're not going to hear the chatter from the peacekeepers.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. You get a little bit better mental picture of what's going on. Like you said, there's a lot going on behind this rather than picking up a radio and keying in some buttons and learning the difference
Yeah,
between
there's-
analog and POC and, you know.
They both have pros and cons, but together they make a really robust platform. And the other thing is there's going to be state dispatch offices, and there's also going to be area or postal area dispatch offices. So there's 10 postal areas 0 through 9, and each of those postal areas have a handful of states in them. So that's how that's going to be. You know, the postal area dispatch office will be helping in times of crisis or disaster needs. They'll be help bridge the gaps in the communication between states and or counties if need be.
CMS channels, then I got you.
Right. It's CMS, because there's going to be a CMS chief on every state, and then there's the postal area chief, I think, and then there's the national chief. So it's and then you have PKTF and the Federation as well. So it's a pretty robust project, but we're focusing on primary points of that, and then it's going to be a phased rollout so that we can get everything online tested before we go live with it. We don't want to throw out the carpet and then trip on it. So
It's probably gonna be next year before that gets done in earnest, maybe in the first quarter, you think?
I don't see it taking that long. It's the setup of the platform to test it is not going to take that long, but full rollout and actively being live, realistically, it could be January. It just depends on a few other parameters with the manufacturer on the back end.
Understood.
But you know, we could have the system designed and developed in as little as a few weeks, but fully testing end to end. And that's going to take a few more weeks on top of that to make sure everything's programmed properly. Anytime you're messing with digital stuff, you have to proof it.
Interesting.
All right, guys, I really got to get off here. If there's anything else, don't be afraid to email myself. I'll put my email in the chat. And if I'll get back to you as soon as practical. My emails get jacked up pretty good sometimes. I may get 40 in an hour, but anyway. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming. Andy, if you don't mind stopping the recording.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank
thank
you,
you, guys.
Robert. Thank you. Have a beautiful evening.
Y'all too.